Hello there. Welcome. I'm so glad you could join us today. I'm having a great day. I hope you are too. My name is Dr. Richard Holley, and I'm here today to talk about your dream smile and what Burns Dentistry can do for you. I'm glad to have you all here attending. I can see quite a number have joined us here today, and so I'm very pleased to see that. We'll be able to answer questions. If you type them in, we'll be able to take a look at those and answer them for you. But I wanted to spend a few minutes today just kind of taking a look at everything in some detail, telling you what we can do and what's different today about dentistry than what you may have known growing up, what you may have feared going to the dentist in the past. It's a very different world today, and we can do a lot more for you in a lot more comfortable way. So let me tell you a little bit about me and where I'm coming from, and tell you a little bit about our office. Now it says, why a free educational or informational seminar? One of the things that we take pride in is being able to inform our patients and the people who entrust themselves to us about not only their options, but what's good about what we can do today. People have a need for information today more than ever. And what we can do is, what we do that's different, I think, is spend the time at the outset, really gathering details, learning from you, finding out what you'd like to see, and working together to create an outcome that's going to be delightful for you. Functional, beautiful, and long-lasting. So we do these things on occasion about different aspects of dentistry. Today I'm going to talk about cosmetic and aesthetic dentistry. There have been informational seminars in the past regarding dentures, implants, all kinds of different aspects of modern dentistry that might be valuable to you. And so check in with us, check our website, and you'll be able to see those as they come up over time. Moving on here, let me tell you about us. Now you can see a picture in front of you. We have a fine group of doctors here at Burns Dentistry that are all extensively trained. Everyone that brings their own touch, their own area of expertise to the equation. And between all of us, we have well over 100 years of experience in dentistry. My particular area of expertise has been in reconstructive and cosmetic dentistry. It's my passion. It's what I love, and it's what I love to spend my time doing and helping people change their lives in a way, and not just their teeth. We are adding more doctors and soon hopefully to be adding new locations. And so our goal is growth, and the way that we grow is by making happy patients out of people like you. I've been in practice here in Arizona more than 25 years now. It's hard to believe, but it's true. And over that course of time, I've seen a lot of different changes take place in the world of dentistry. I do nothing now the way that I was taught in school, and in a good way. We've improved even during the time that I've been in practice, fundamentally in every regard. And it's been my goal to make sure that people have a very comfortable experience, which was not a focus decades ago, but it is today, to make our outcomes comfortable, long-lasting, and lifelike. I graduated from dental school back in the early 90s, and after I did, I spent a few years in additional education in advanced dentistry, because I thought that the future held some changes that weren't being taught in school. And it's come to fruition. There's a lot of things now that are highly technical and highly complex, and I wanted to get trained in those things. So I spent a year in that, and I've spent years in advanced training, actually working with the Academy of General Dentistry. And for those of you who don't know what that is, it's educational group for general dentists who study together after dental school. And there's hundreds of thousands of members all over the world. And our job is to promote our skills and advance our skill set to be able to create better and better outcomes for people. And I was fortunate to be elected president of that group a number of years ago, and hopefully I served them well. But in the time since, been working full time here with Dr. Burns and our team here in Sun City, and I'm going to bring that experience to bear. All right, well, here's the basic question. What is cosmetic dentistry? Literally almost anything could be. In today's world, most of what we do ends up being in some fashion cosmetic. It's cleaning up problems, it's making alterations that are elective in nature, it's recreating and repositioning teeth in a way that will actually not only look better but function better. Almost anything that is tooth colored could be considered cosmetic, but it's not purely for vanity's sake. It's not something that is designed just to fluff an ego. A lot of what we do is purely functional, and we have the side benefit, the advantage of making it look like natural teeth look great when we're done. For example, the picture you might see on the screen here, this person obviously is challenged with mismatched teeth, with decay, with discolorations. In the past, that may be some extractions, or maybe some metal patches, or even some mismatched tooth colored patches. But we can do better these days. And I wanted to show you some examples of cases coming up and the types of problems that people face and the types of things that we can do about it and solve those problems. Daily challenges people face with their teeth can take any one of a number of forms. For example, people wear on their teeth. Now here in Sun City, we see a lot of people who are seniors, and a lot of people have this particular problem. I'd say many people have a problem with wear in their teeth. Now, why is wear a problem? Sometimes it doesn't hurt, but wear is progressive, and it gets to the point where there's not much left of your teeth to work with. And teeth are unique. Teeth are one of the few tissues in the body that have a unique situation where they can't repair themselves. If you cut your skin, it heals. If you break a bone, it heals. If you lose a part, it'll grow back together. But teeth, once they're broken, once they're worn, they stay broken and they stay worn. And it gets worse with time. Wear is significant because it not only changes the way your teeth fit together, but it changes the position of your face. As teeth wear, your chin grows closer to your nose as you close down. You may have seen some folks like that. But inside your teeth, there's some sensitive stuff, and it can get pretty close to the vital core. And once that happens, now we have some real problems. So if you look at these pictures on the screen here, here's two gentlemen, not older, middle-aged at best. But if you look carefully at the pictures, you can see some significant wear in the teeth. Once the enamel's been worn through, there's not much left to resist wear. The inner part of the tooth is very soft, and so your rate of wear accelerates over time. Once you start wearing your teeth, it goes faster, not slower. And so we try to catch it up where there's still some teeth to work with. These gentlemen have some significant wear that's come to them, who knows why. Bite forces, grinding habit, maybe there's just a fracturing from an impact or something. If you take a look at this gentleman left and right, that's a before and after picture of somebody who had virtually half their teeth gone at the start. And on the right side, we did what are called porcelain veneers. And a veneer is a facing. It's a porcelain shell that covers over the visible areas and the biting surface of the tooth and allows us to recreate what nature had intended, but do it in a very conservative and superficial way that doesn't grind a lot of the teeth away. So it saves and preserves the teeth, but it gives us the outcome that we want. So this gentleman went through a very quick process, actually. We were able to measure out how we wanted the teeth to appear, create these veneers, and bond them to place in a matter of weeks. Didn't take months and years. And so obviously his facial form changed. He learned to smile for the first time. And he's very pleased with the outcome. And this was several years ago. He comes back to us still, and he's very happy with the outcome. Here's the other picture of the gentleman we just looked at. Again, little distorted picture on the left there, but what we can see distinctly is that he's got a lot of wear, chipping, and breakage on the surface of his teeth. And he was a man in his early 40s at the time. He was very young to have suffered this degree of decomposition of his teeth. And so the same process was used there, where we designed and created some veneers, and another situation where he was able to finally feel comfortable smiling on the right side. Looks like a different person entirely. And his face is relaxed. He's not struggling to project his inner self. So as we look at the decay challenge before, again, veneers are our best tool. If we take a look at this, is the same person a couple of days later. Not only were we able to correct the obvious decay problems, but the proportion problems between the teeth, the color variation, the opacity and fakeness of those two front teeth to start with has been corrected. One of the great things about modern porcelains is that they are as strong as metal, and so we can use them in cases where we used to have to use metal, and metal just made the tooth look fake. But now we can do a much better job with light translucency, proportion, color transmission, and all the artistic aspects of things that really will go towards creating an outcome that's not only beautiful, but believable. Other challenges that people face on a day-to-day basis. A lot of times, you have a lifetime behind you. You have a lot of dentistry that's been done. Some of it's in great shape. You love it. Some of it is broken, worn, or have had receding gums where the edges are showing and it's all dark, and some decay has started, or maybe they're put in at an angle that was somehow utilized at the time, but maybe it's inappropriate today to take a look at it and think that it looks straight. So this lady on the left here, again, has what's called a bridge, a row of teeth up front that are totally mismatched to her bite, but she's been living like that for years and has been struggling with it and came to us for a solution. The lady on the right, also a similar situation where she's got some old crowns, the old caps with the metal line around them, and looked opaque, and was the best available at the time. Wouldn't, condemn anybody for doing their very best and doing a great job for what was possible at the time, but we can do better today, much better. So there's that lady again, after picture of the teeth made to match, even color, even proportion, even length. And again, she's smiling like that ear to ear and hasn't stopped since. This has been a life-altering thing for her from a social perspective. She used to walk around, hand in front of her mouth, smile like this, not be wanting to be in pictures, just was struggling with the appearance of the teeth socially, and so we were able to kind of turn that around for her, and that's the most rewarding aspect of doing this kind of thing. Similar outcome for this other lady. Again, all the metallic metal work was taken out, some new porcelain was put into place, it was designed artistically, bonded into place permanently, and now she's got a smile that she's going to be proud of for the rest of her life. It's really going to be beautiful. More challenges. Things come up, everybody's mouth is different. There's a lot of things that people face that are able to take down your teeth, whether it's the old dentistry, whether it's the wear. Things like this are just created by nature. You may have a gap in between your teeth or several teeth. There may be a crookedness. Teeth tend to grow in wherever there's room to grow in, and may or may not be where ideally you'd like it to be. And so people go through life, especially if they don't have braces as a kid, with things like this. On the left, you can see a gap, some asymmetrical or uneven lengths to the teeth up front. He had to kind of force his lips out to be able to smile. And on the right, we're able to create a proportion, create a closed gap, create a natural look that matched his look and his shape of his face and his complexion, and give him a great look after. I still see this gentleman every 6 months, and he's excited as could be for what's going on. He's very, very happy that he had this done. Age doesn't matter. Could happen to old folks, could happen to young folks, anybody in between. There's a young lady in her 20s came to us and said, I had an accident, I lost my tooth, and my other front teeth were repaired when I was a kid in a fashion that was all that was possible at the time, but it just looks questionable now. And she's very, just kind of embarrassed, especially for a young, attractive lady. This kind of thing can really hold them in, hold them back. She had some gaps, she had some shorter middle teeth and side teeth, she's missing the tooth. And so the creation of veneers and an implant across there gave her a look that she's still proud of to this day. The point of talking about some of these things is just to say that dentistry used to be thought of as maybe a necessary evil, or just something to be endured. It was something that was not an enjoyable experience. And with some of the things we can do today, we can make this a very positive, very uplifting process, and you come out of it much happier than you were going into it. And that's a great thing to be able to say, because it really is a new consideration for us in the last handful of years to be able to do these kinds of things. You can ask questions if you'd like to type them in on the right. We've got our first one here. The veneers hurt, and what's involved in getting them? The answer is no. They don't hurt. I would say it's akin to maybe other dental work, and that's for sensitive teeth that need to be perhaps locally numbed up to work on them. Because what we do is we actually shape the teeth minimally, but we shape them to be able to create the space for the porcelain to go to place. And we don't want it to hurt at all during any part of the process, so we can use a process to locally numb the spots. Working on the teeth is like getting a filling done. Doesn't have to hurt at all. And once the numbness wears off after a short time, the process is done. And it doesn't hurt at all. Getting them is a process by which, once we decide what it is that you'd like to see, we actually create and can create an artistic mock-up of what's possible. And that's one of the great things about our process today. You don't jump into it and just come out, you get what you get, and then who knows what it's going to be like, and hopefully it's not horse teeth or some such. The process is nothing like that. We actually designed together on some models and then some wax exactly what we'd like the outcome to look like ahead of time. And you can see that. And you can work with us to design, say, I like that, I don't like that, change the length, change the shape, make it fit your particular bite, your shape of your face and such. And once we have that as a blueprint, well, now we can move forward. Then we go to the process of actually shaping the teeth, creating having one appointment to shape up the teeth and get molds and impressions and such. And then we actually put temporaries in place for you to test drive that are in the image of what we had designed in the wax mock-up. And so you get a chance before everything's finished to see it in place. Check the look, check the color, check the bite pattern, check your speech. Make sure all the details, the fine detail work is worked out before we go to finish, so you can be sure the outcome is going to be one that you're very excited about and it's going to work for you for the long run. And so there's usually a couple of weeks in fabrication time, getting the veneers created, and we have you back. And we take off the temporaries once we're sure that that's what you wanted, bind in the final porcelain, and you're done. It's like getting, if you've had a crown or a cap on your teeth, it's a process similar to that in process, although the outcome may be a little bit different. So the process can take just a couple of weeks of time generally, and usually it's just a few visits over the course of that time to get the whole thing done. That's how quick it can happen. It's pretty remarkable what we can do in a short amount of time with a good plan. So here we go. What can we do to help? Well, options exist to solve these problems. If you're missing teeth these days, you can think about implants or bound-in implants where you have bridges for your teeth, or connecting the teeth together with veneers and crowns and such. But if we can keep your teeth, the natural ones, so you don't have to lose any if it's possible, if we can make the color correct, the shape and the mismatch of the bite and such, go back to a well-designed and well-thought-out position. Do it without pain and make it look natural. That's the thing that we can do now that we couldn't do before. You've seen people with maybe bad dentistry done, the obvious ones, the glow-in-the-dark teeth, the ones that are out to here. It's nothing like that. We designed it to look like it's natural and part of you. Pick a bright, healthy color, but nothing fake and phony, and make it look like it was always there from birth. And the outcome can be truly remarkable. And again, we let you see the outcome before it's finished, so you can make sure it looks the way that you want it to look. So these porcelain restorations, the crowns and the veneers specifically, are our best artist's tool. It's what we use and it's what we have to make sure that the outcome is going to work for you. So here's that process. I was talking about taking your teeth and actually designing on a model a wax creation of what's possible and what's planned and what would work for your bite. So on the right here, we have an image of a tooth that's a whole row of teeth that have been created in wax to be able to show a patient and make sure they like the alignment, like the size and length and color. And on the left, we can see that a lot of digital technology is brought to bear these days. We've got computers that actually design and help aid in the manufacture of a lot of our porcelain. It's a lot more efficient and a lot better controlled than trying to do it by hand in a hand-carved fashion. It can be done faster, can be done with more precision, can be reproducible. And so you can see that a lot of the laboratory process we have total hands-on, and then we have the aid of our computers and our manufacturing millers to create the exact color, size, and shape that we've designed, and so we can be assured of perfection. But this is the kind of thing that we do. It's the kind of thing that's uplifting. These are all our patients. These are all our pictures. And these are all our befores and afters of the kinds of things that are possible these days that were never possible before, and can be done painlessly, can be done with your input to make sure that the outcome is going to be one that you're proud of, and can be done quickly. Like I said, a couple of weeks, and this kind of thing is possible. And it's very uplifting to be able to do for people. Before and after here, putting in missing teeth, closing gaps, changing color. Here's another gentleman who was struggling to smile at first. His teeth were not necessarily unhealthy, but they were all over the place. He had positioning problems, he had orthodontic issues, never was treated as a kid, didn't want to go through braces as an adult at this point in his life and his career, but wanted to see what could be done for him in a matter of a relatively short time. He didn't want to go through months and years of treatment. And so that picture on the right was taken 3 weeks after the picture on the left. And it was done to, it's, again, still to this day, changed a different person. Questions come in about payment and insurance. Generally, insurance pays for things that are deemed to be necessary. And by that, I mean if there's a hole in a tooth, if there's decay, if it's fractured, if you have an old crown or something that's failing and in and of itself requires replacement, then insurance will generally play their role. They'll do a part. They don't, obviously, dental insurance is an odd thing, and it doesn't pay for everything. It pays for a portion of most things if you have that kind of a policy. They're all different. Things that are deemed to be purely elective, they say, go for it, have fun, but we're not going to pay for it by and large, unless you have an exceptional plan. So when it comes to insurance or payment for things like this, the price varies depending, like anything else, on how much we actually have to do and what you'd like to see for the outcome. But we do work with people as far as making it fit your life and fit your budget. We can do that. We've got ways of making the budgetary factor a lot less of a factor, so that this kind of cosmetic procedure can be done and you don't have to go your life wishing and hoping. So it's the kind of thing that um, ends up not being a barrier for most people. We can find a way to fit it for you, and it really is a nice thing to be able to do and finally get the weight off your shoulders. But again, this gentleman is exemplary of the fact that I've never done this, and I've done hundreds, thousands of veneers over the course of years of time. Not once, never once have I had a patient come back and say they wish they didn't do it. And to me, that says a lot. It was a big process, some time, some procedural things had to be done, whatever the cost was. They all come back and said, I wish I had done it years and years ago. Universally, that's what they say. And so it feels good for me to be able to provide that service to people, but for them to finally get them where they want it to be. Here's another young lady, again, had bad positioning of the teeth, had crooked teeth, didn't want braces. Wanted to see what could be done with the veneers in a form of instant orthodontics that allows us to position the teeth virtually with the veneers and make it look like it had always been in the proper position. And so again, no braces were done between these two pictures. We did veneers on her, and those pictures were taken days apart. And of course, obviously a changed person, much different person. You can see how she's kind of taking a little bit different care of herself. She's proud to go out in public and kind of show off and flash a new smile. So it can be done to anybody of any age, young or old. Again, a lot of people who are seniors start to worry about their age. And the truth is, at that point, when it becomes most necessary. That's when the teeth are wearing down badly. That's when they're chipping, old dentistry is failing, and you kind of come to that crossroads. You get to the point where you have to make a decision about hanging on to your teeth or not. And if you're going to hang on to them, well, now we have the option to do this kind of a thing and give you what you've always wanted in a way that's going to work, be durable, be long-lasting, and be something that you can rely on for the long term. Yeah, this gentleman, another one with just dark teeth, gappy teeth, and again, it's just something he'd lived with for his entire adult life. Couldn't stand it. Was pleased to hear what we could do, and we were able to just do a few teeth on him to make him look a whole lot better. I mean, it's remarkable how much a simple change can make. So it's time to look at asking questions. This kind of thing we talk about briefly. We can do amazing things. We can do virtually anything that anybody wants, as long as it can be made to fit their face and their bite. Color can be changed, shape can change, gaps can be filled in, missing teeth can be replaced in a number of ways that are rock solid and as if you never lost the teeth. And so part of dentistry these days is not only functional, but it's emotional. Dentistry and teeth have always been a lifelong problem and challenge for some people. And for a lot of people, they're finally seeking out a way to get solutions to these problems. And the solutions today are better than what we've ever been able to offer before. It's more accessible. It's more quickly and easily completed. And with the right dentist, with the right artistic training, the outcome can be something that can be unleashing and bold and exciting for people. So any questions that come in for the next few moments, I'm happy to answer. For attending this thing, obviously we wanted to make sure that people had a reason to call us and a motivation to come in. And so as you can see on the screen there, Dr. Burns and I graciously had said, we'll look to offer people $1,000 off your new smile. If it's something you want to look at doing a mouthful or of veneers or crowns or something, we're willing to work with you to make sure that it fits your life, fits your budget, and is something that's achievable for you. It really is something that can be a life-changing experience. We're happy to be able to do it for you, and we can make the process itself one that is not a problem, but an uplifting one. Complimentary whitening for people who are not necessarily looking for veneers, but who are looking just to brighten their beautiful existing teeth. We can do that for you too. We have a full complement of services that we offer, so it's not just about cosmetics. It's about anything that you might need, but we can provide that for you. Keep it all in-house and have one-stop shopping for anybody who needs quality dentistry, affordable prices, and a team of doctors that are willing to work with you to create an outcome that you're looking for. One last question here. It says, how long do veneers last? Thank you very much for asking. Veneers are similar in style and process to other dental work. Some people get fillings in their mouth that last their whole life. Some break out after 5 years. Crowns can last between 5 and 25 years typically. The real key is to answer the question is how you take care of them. The only thing that tends to ruin veneers, ruin crowns, things like that, is redeveloping decay, getting up underneath them in the seam where it meets back to the tooth. The enemy in every case is just germs, and they will settle and sit inside any crevice or hole that they can sit in undisturbed. So to answer your question, how long do they last? They last years and years. It's a vague answer, and the vagueness is due to the fact that it really depends upon how careful and adept you are at your home hygiene. You're brushing every day, a couple times. You're flossing in between or water picking in between to make sure the dirtiest parts are kept clear, kept clean. If you are, you can expect a long life out of them. I have patients who had their dental work put in World War II, and it's still in place because somebody did an excellent job putting it in, and they've done an excellent job taking care of it. Others, not so much. You got to solve the problems that caused the problems in the first place. So taking good care of your teeth will provide the best longevity for whatever kind of dentistry you have done. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here to listen in on some of this, to look at some of the pictures, to see what we can do. And if you have any questions, please take note of the phone numbers there on the screen. We have 2 offices in the Sun City area, one in West and one here in Sun City. And we're happy to take your call, meet with you, answer any questions. And really look forward to being a part of your life and making a great change happen for you. Thank you so very much for joining me today. I appreciate it.